I would like to go over the four basic principles that make up the foundation for all my coaching and workshops. These principles are the building blocks that we will expand upon for every individual coaching session and workshop. We live in a world filled with constant noise, distractions, and emotional demands. Finding inner peace requires a deep understanding of how our mind organizes information and experiences. Compartmentalization is the practice of creating mental boundaries that allow us to manage emotions and thoughts more effectively. When used consciously, it helps us maintain clarity and presence without suppressing what we feel. Let me explain how compartmentalization can become a tool for self-discovery and emotional balance. Learn how to separate your thoughts and emotions without disconnecting from them, gaining the ability to respond rather than react. Through awareness, responsibility, and presence, you can transform mental clutter into calm focus. The first of these is self-discovery and awareness. Self-discovery begins with observing the patterns that shape your behavior. Many of our reactions are inherited from the environment we grew up in, our family, culture, and early experiences. These imprints influence how we interpret the world around us. For example, imagine someone who frequently feels anxious in social settings. Through reflection, they realize that this anxiety stems from childhood experiences where expressing emotions wasn't safe. By identifying this origin, they begin to see their reaction not as a flaw, but as an old coping mechanism ready to be released. The goal of awareness isn't to judge these patterns, but to see them clearly. With awareness, you can begin to rewrite the narrative and consciously choose new ways of being. Think of a recurring emotional reaction you experience. Ask yourself, where did this begin? Who or what might have taught me to think or feel this way? Write down what comes to mind without editing it. Awareness begins with honest observation. The second is personal responsibility and accountability. Personal responsibility is the bridge between awareness and transformation. It means taking ownership of your emotional state and choices rather than attributing them solely to others or other circumstances. Consider someone who's unhappy in their job. Instead of focusing on how unfair the environment is, they begin to explore what actions they can take to change their situation, seeking growth opportunities, setting boundaries, or even pursuing a new path. This shift from blame to accountability restores their personal power. When we take responsibility for our internal world, we stop waiting for external validation or rescue. We become the architects of our own peace. Reflect on a situation where you felt powerless. What would it look like to reclaim your responsibility in that moment? What small action could you take to move closer to balance? The third is empathy and presence. Empathy and presence are the foundations of meaningful connection. Present means being fully aware of the current moment, listening without anticipating, observing without judgment. Empathy adds another layer. It's the ability to understand others' perspectives without losing your own center. In conversation, people often over-explain or justify themselves out of anxiety or a need to be understood. Practicing presence means learning to make clear, concise statements without defensiveness. This creates space for authentic dialogue. Empathy does not mean absorbing someone else's emotions. It means staying open and curious. When we are present and grounded, we can hold space for others without losing ourselves in the process. The next time you're in a conversation, notice when you feel the urge to defend or over-explain. Instead, take a breath and simply express how you feel in one clear sentence. Observe how the energy of the exchange changes. The fourth is overthinking, anxiety, and multiple trains of thought. Overthinking is often the result of anxiety, a mind running on multiple tracks at once, jumping between possibilities, fears, and outcomes. It's a sign of mental overactivity, not weakness. Compartmentalization helps bring focus back to a single thought train, allowing you to slow down and create clarity. Imagine your thoughts as trains moving on a parallel tracks. Presence is the station where you can observe them passing without needing to board every one. By practicing mindfulness and conscious breathing, you can pause long enough to choose which thought deserves your attention. That pause between thought and response is where peace begins. It's not about suppressing thoughts, but about observing them long enough to decide how to engage. This mindful pause transforms reactivity into reflection. Throughout your day, notice moments when your mind starts to race. Instead of following every thought, pause and take one slow, full breath. Ask yourself, which of these thoughts truly need my attention right now? Compartmentalization, when practiced consciously, is not about avoidance. It's about clarity. It allows you to separate what's immediate from what's long-term, emotional from practical, and reaction from response. Through awareness, accountability, empathy, and presence, you can create a sustainable sense of inner peace. Each reflection, each pause, and each moment of awareness brings you closer to harmony with yourself. Inner peace isn't something you find. It's something you cultivate through understanding your mind and giving yourself the space to breathe, reflect, and grow.